If someone asked me why I would want to work at SpaceX, it would be because I want to change the world. I want to make a difference. I want to be part of something that is going to have a fundamental effect on the way we view our world, our entire existence. I have a bachelor's degree in English, which really doesn't relate to specifically space exploration, but I would like to think that I would fit in. I would fit in quite well, I personally believe. I love problem solving. I'm a common sense, down-to-earth type of thinker. And I do love challenges, especially working around problems. I've been fascinated with terraforming for the last 4 years. I started a career in writing my own books. I have a book out on Amazon called Terraforming Mars. I believe that the quickest way to terraform Mars is to basically increase the temperature of the atmosphere through the use of kinetic bombardment, which would be finding asteroids that aren't solid but aren't at the same time aren't just a bunch of small rubble that's been connected loosely. I think something that is dense enough to be in the atmosphere almost up until it hits the ground is probably the best type of meteor or asteroid that you want to be finding to increase the temperature of Mars. The biggest problem with Mars is obviously going to be its gravity. We're going to need to wear some sort of weighted spacesuit. Microbes, I personally don't believe are going to be that big of an issue, especially considering that the entire surface of Mars is radiated, or slightly radiated. Finally, the biggest problem with Mars is obviously going to be water supply. Without water, you don't have life, and you can always evaporate some of the water to get oxygen. The best way to get water to Mars is going to have to be through the use of comets. Searching for water just really isn't that feasible. Even if it's underground, you're still going to have to send people out to find the water. In a place that we need to be focusing on mining and scientific exploration, finding water should not be one of our priorities. It should be supplied to us through some sort of space elevator. And right now, we do have the tensile strength for a space elevator on the moon. Whether or not we have the tensile strength for Mars is, in all honesty, I'm not sure, but I believe that we do. I'm pleased to see the progress that you guys are making with the manned capsules, especially the ones that are going to be going to Mars. And y'all made sure to, or at least through the news articles that I read, you said that you are already working on a capsule that's much bigger than the manned capsule, which is obviously for your Mars exploration. I would like to see how you plan on incorporating any pets, if at all, because we're humans, we're creatures of habit. We're going to want to bring some pets. I don't know if dogs are completely out of the question, but I'd love to theorize how we could create or synthesize some sort of vegetarian diet that they would be able to live off of. I know that we love cats, we love our dogs, and we're going to want to bring the things that we love to space with us. So that's just, I personally believe that's what we're going to want. We're going to want luxury. We're going to want, all of our needs met. And that's just not going to happen unless we are prepared to bring not just dogs, cats, hamsters. You're going to want scientific animals as well. So you're going to have life support systems, not just for humans, but for animals as well. I've given a lot of thought to radiation protection on Mars, but I'm really not sure how to deal with that. I think living in underground structures is probably the best. But once again, I haven't really studied the radiation effects of the human body under Mars conditions. I'm not really sure of that process, but I think it would be something that would be very interesting to study. But once again, I think living underground, at least for the first, couple hundred years, is going to be necessary. I mean, obviously, the people who go out on the surface of the planet are going to need to be in protective suits and vehicles, but I just don't see how, if we want to maintain a viable seed colony, or basically a seed bank for humanity, we would want to expose that seed bank to radiation. I just don't think it's very, very, it doesn't take into account the grand vision of looking down the road, so to speak. Finally, the last thing that I wanted to address about the Mars colony is getting the people there. I'm really excited to see that you were able to reuse your last Falcon 9. And I'm really hoping that we're able to get to the 15, 20, and 25 rocket launches per rocket. But I think we're a long way away from that. You landed the rocket out in the middle of the Atlantic for a reason. I'm not 100% sure why you guys did that, but you obviously didn't want to reuse it. Otherwise, you would have tried to have landed it much, much closer. I still think that you could have somehow tried to have salvaged it, but maybe there was just a part of the launch that became uncontrollable, and that's why it landed so far out in the Atlantic. I think you could have paid several people minimum wage to clean the rocket up. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless there is something wrong with the rocket, or you didn't want other nations to get their hands on it. If I were a conspiracy theorist, I would say that you probably scuttled the rocket after it landed because you knew that we wouldn't be able to get to it in time, and I don't know. But I do know that every rocket sent up is equipped with a self-destruct mechanism, and that wouldn't surprise me if y'all had done that. But it is a $60 million rocket to build. I'm not really sure why you would do that. There are so many problems when approaching Mars and terraforming it and living on it that I can't really fit all of that into one movie. So I'm going to try and create a YouTube channel just called Terraforming Mars and address some of the problems, and hopefully I can get your guys' attention. I really want to work with a space company, with a company that is going to change the way we look at the world. NASA's no longer able to do it. Yes, they're your primary customer, they're your primary client, but in all honesty, if you're able to lower the prices as far as you claim, or even a quarter towards getting it down to somewhere like $30 million or $20 million per launch, you're going to see an astronomical increase in people who are interested in getting to space, because $20 million for a capsule that can seat 7 people to go to the International Space Station or the Bigelow Aerospace Space Station would be very impressive. I don't want to have to load too much more through YouTube, and my connection is not that great. So I'm going to cut it off here, and hopefully you will consider my application to work at SpaceX. I've been following you guys since 2002. It would be a dream come true. Have a good one.